started to make a lot of grade marks and now you'd like to reuse them, organize them, edit them, and import more from other teachers. This video shows how. It also shows you how to import over 200 grade marks that you can edit and group the way you'd like. This video should be played after Turnitin's own 4-minute video overview that introduces grade marks. That video is found on our Vision page for all things Turnitin. You may already be dragging comments onto students' papers. There's a way, though, that you can save these comments to reuse them. So, for instance, this sentence, these new technology humans would no longer fall under the category of Homo sapiens. I find that to be unclear, so I click it and I'll write here, this is unclear, and should be reworded. Instead of just saving it and making it appear just like any of these other comments that have just a call out, I'm going to click Save as New QuickMark, and I'm going to give it a title that I'll remember so that I can, in the future, drag it back over there. And it'll appear for the student, so she'll get the gist of it there. And when I want to find it again, to use it elsewhere, I'll scroll down over here in my menu of QuickMarks that I have and drag it elsewhere if I wish. And of course, if I don't want it there, I can delete it. Once it's there, if I want to add some more information, perhaps suggest ways that it could be clarified, I could click Edit and do that. Once I've made a few remarks, I can click Save, and it will appear there, so that when she sees it, she'll see that there's a little call out symbol next to the word unclear, and she would know to find those additional comments. After a while of doing this, I find that I have so many of these grade marks that I can hardly remember which ones I have. This has become unmanageable. So the way to kind of put these into more manageable sets is to click this little wrench up here to open the QuickMark Manager, and it opens right with the set that I have opened, which is CC, which for me stands for College Composition. Argument Research Paper. Well, now I want to do a speech. I want to have them do that, so I'm going to click this up here to start a new set, and I'll call it CC Speech. If I can find the P key. There we go. Now, of course, it has none to begin with, but I'm going to go back to my argument research paper, which has a lot of the attributes of the speech, and I'm going to find ones that I want to add to the speech. So, and I can, as I click it over here in the right column, R is the big name which appears on the student's paper, and then when the student mouses over it, he would see this writing. So let's see, abstract, consider other ways of describing this without abstract adjectives, something that I may have been hounding them on. I think I'll include that in my new speech set. So here I am still in my argument research paper set, and I found one that I like, so I'm going to click Actions next to it, and I'm going to click Add to Set. And then it's going to give me all of the sets that I have, and I'm going to click my new speech set, and there is added to it. So when I click Abstract again, still in my argument research paper set, I'll see that it's been added to my new speech set down here. And when I click my speech set, I have an entire grade mark right there. I'll add a couple of more to make it more presentable. Let's see, antecedent, that's always an issue, isn't it? So I'll click Actions next to that, and again Add to Set, go to my speech set, and now you see that my speech set has two grade marks, and when I click it, they both appear. And if I click my speech set and want to make it the current set for this particular assignment, I would click make this the active set, and it would replace what's now in the menu next to the paper with the speech set. So I think I'll do that, make this the active set, and then I'll close my QuickMark Manager, and there you see I have only the two that I've selected. I can add more, as I did before, either by creating them on the student's paper or by, again, clicking that wrench, going back into the QuickMark Manager. Let's say I'd like to change one of my grade marks. Well, if it's one of these little call-outs, that's easy enough to do. I mouse over it, and I've corrected capabilities and made it singular, but I think I've done too much work for her. I'm going to make her figure out what the singular of capabilities is, so I'm going to type singular. Isn't that mean? Click save, and now when she mouses over it, she'll see singular and figure it out herself. But let's suppose I want to change this one that says redundant. I don't, this doesn't give vent enough to the level of frustration I'm feeling over the redundancy in a lot of students' papers, so I want to change it for all of the students. Right now her paper says, since AI technology will have the capability to self-repair itself. Well, I can't just click edit, because if I do that, I'll just have the opportunity to type additional comments just for her paper. So I'll not do that. Instead, I need to go back over to that wrench and click the set that contains my redundant QuickMark and go down to the word redundant, click it, and there it is as it now stands. To change it, I click the edit button, and now I'll add, repetition is good, but this kind of repetition isn't effective. And I'll click save. When I click save and then close and go back and mouse over it, it doesn't appear. But if I refresh the page and then go back down to where I was, there, it's changed. And that's true for everywhere, on every student paper, in every set that I use. Now that word redundant will include this message. If I want to include it in some sets but not others, I would need to make a separate redundant grade mark for, or QuickMark I should say, for that particular set. Let's say you're getting started with QuickMarks and you'd like some that other teachers have already made. Then you can at least use the ones that I've provided to begin with and use them from other teachers as well later. To get to the ones that I've made, you'll go on to Vision, log on there, scroll down to where you search the courses, type in Turnitin, click go. Click the one search result that you'll find. Scroll to the bottom where it says other resources for using Turnitin.com, and you'll see 4 different sets of QuickMarks. 1 argument research papers, 1 for college essays, and 2 for literary analysis essays, 1 geared more to 9th graders, 1 to 10th graders. If you download them all, you'll find that I've used some of the same QuickMarks in more than one set. In order to import any of these sets of grade marks, you will need to download them first, and the way you download them depends on which operating system you're using. If you're using Apple's OS X, you'll mouse over the one you want, and before clicking, you'll hold down the Control key, which will give you a set of options. You'll click Save Link As, and then decide where you'd like to save it. You can also rename it if you'd like. Once you've done that, you'll click Save. If you're using a Windows computer, instead of the Control key, you'll hold down the Alt key, A-L-T, and then click, and that will save it. If you have any questions about anything to do with QuickMark or GradeMark or anything else to do with Turnitin.com, please don't hesitate to email me at peter.stevens@lcps.org. Thank you.